All right, so just got back from the Hooligan 100. Figured I'd show you guys some of the stuff that went on with the bike and talk about it. Class was Hooligan Novice, 40 people or so entered. I ended up 7th out of it. We actually ended up with only 18, even completing a single lap. So I feel like I did pretty decent. That being said, my bike did take some damage throughout the weekend, but I think it held up pretty well. Motor-wise, it is a stock 1200. The only thing I did to it was a ignition. I never even changed the oil before I started putting this bike together, so I'm sure that's going to look awesome whenever I go to do an oil change on it. Anyways, here, I'll go ahead and show you guys all the carnage of what happened to the bike. Yeah, so here's the bike. It actually isn't as bad as you would think, you know. Lost a fork shroud over here. Lost a bark buster at some point in the woods. You just rattle a bunch of bolts loose. Yeah, I ended up rattling up that guy loose. Didn't use blue Loctite. Should have. Rattled loose an engine bolt, mount bolt there, stuff like that. Ended up rattling these guys loose and stripping them out. It happens, you know. Ended up with a flat at one point and a bunch of flat spots in this wheel. Luckily, some nice folks were able to help me out. We were able to get that wheel straight-ish enough and get the tire to bead enough to do one more lap. So that was cool. Helped me out a ton. Ripped open my bag. Ended up snapping some bolts off here. So I lost my skid plate, snapped off. There was a kickstand there at one point, but it's gone now. It's off in the woods of Tennessee now. But overall, this bike fared pretty well, you know. All I really did to it, all I really bought for it was the tank and the seat. Has some 14-inch progressive street shocks, cheap 18-inch wheel with a dirt tire, front ends from a YZ 450, basically just chopped to make it 3 inches shorter, and that's it. Definitely not the best ride. All right, so I'm definitely going to be spending money on proper suspension for the next race. But yeah, overall, it did really good, you know. This thing actually still has oil in it. Puked a little oil out of the air breather. But overall, good. It was a good time. So yeah, if you're thinking about doing the Hooligan 100 next year or any of these kind of like enduro sportster events, I highly recommend it. The people are some of the nicest people you're going to meet. You can go up to total strangers and ask for help, and everyone's willing to help you out, you know. We're all out there to have fun and party first. You know, podiums and all that stuff come second. Everyone's just there to have fun and, you know, enjoy being not the brightest bulbs and taking sportsters off-road when really we should probably just buy proper dirt bikes. But what's the fun in that?